At Vibra Finance, we seek out the hidden gems in cryptocurrency. We will tailor your portfolio to work for you. Are you ready to transition your investments from traditional markets to cryptocurrency? Are your coins staked and earning interest? Are you overwhelmed with all the jargon in crypto? Is your portfolio underperforming and you want to reposition into consistent winning blue chip coins and viable projects? Do you feel like you missed out on DeFi, Metaverse, and NFTs? Here at Vyper Finance, we provide you with the data, skills, and tools you need to stay on top of the digital asset market. Vyper Finance. We are the future of crypto.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Viberville. As you could see, my camera is no more. I have a misfunctioning USB-C outlet. And with today's dump across the board, I'm not getting a new computer anytime soon. So it is what it is for now. We're going to have to do. But fortunately, we got a special guest joining us today. My man, Wreck to Riches. It's good, brother.
What's going on, bro? Thanks for having me today. Happy Friday, by the way, everybody out there. Nice red in the market to start a weekend, right?
Definitely. But that just shows, the importance of having information and being able to get it. And Mike Dean's premium hub there, if you've been looking at it, you could kind of see a lot of unstaking, a lot of supply coming versus what's coming in the near future. So this was kind of, you could see it coming.
Yeah, he gave us the crystal ball package. It's the premium crystal ball package. You could just go on there and all the stats and data. I mean, if that wasn't at my fingertips, I really would be lost right now because you could just see inflation on any token that's coming out on any given day or second date, all that good stuff. And then today, like you said, we could definitely see it happening with the trillions of Titanx X coming off the market, bro. Like, what was it yesterday? Like 1.2 trillion or something like that. And more to come. More to come.
Yep, exactly. With Vyper coming out today, X28 just came out of the blue today. So now we have more, and then all the whole pipeline too. First, guys, follow Rect over on Twitter. Wreck to Riches. If you're not following him right now, definitely go give him a follow. Follow his YouTube channel. He puts out really good content. He's here, no bullshit. He'll ask the tough questions. He puts people on the spot, which I have a hard time doing, but you're just ruthless with that shit.
Yeah, man. No, that's why I've always watched you too, because I've watched you for a while now, and just from talking to you in the backstage, like you're like you're real, like you're exactly how you are on stream as you are backstage. Like, just it's not for the cameras. So I'm like, I can definitely see myself doing live streams more with this guy, because your opinions about everything, how you break things down, your utility picks too, I think they're solid. And you look at like the CEOs and what they're up to, all the things you break down, you really deliver something strong for the community. So I'm excited to see you bring people over from all those other communities over to Titan X, because they're in for a treat, especially soon here.
Right. And that's exactly, bro. That's the thing, is it's hard to reach out and bring new people into the ecosystem. And when you go to people and you're just like, oh, you got to buy this coin, people are like, okay, they already have their preconceived notions. They already have in their head what they're doing with crypto. You got to find that common ground first, whether it's with utility coins, whether it's with the NFT community. You got to bond with people somewhere and click, and then start to pitch them on the other stuff. And shit, like, I've really found it effective to where, if you're looking at like these XRP guys, which it's been sitting at 50 cents forever, they're all just like, when moon. If you could get these guys and say, hey, what if I could tell you that in 3 months from now, you would be saying to yourself, please don't moon, please keep the prices down right now so I can buy more, because there's opportunities in the short term where you can make so much money and take it out of there and put it into these hyper suppressed coins. And that's when they're like, wow, oh yeah, it does make sense, because no one's going to just sell their XR, these coins they've been holding for years. They're not going to just dump them for this speculative coin they've never heard about just because you're bullish on it. Like, you really got to find a way to get creative. And I've been trying to onboard people, well, not onboarding people for 4 years now, and you just start perfecting it and figuring out what works and what doesn't work. And yeah, but it's just been the successful way, and it's people listen that way, I found. So we got to get in front of new people.
Yeah, you got it's tough too with onboarding because you have like the cult mentality. I remember early on talking about XRP years ago, and I was on camera. I was telling people buy it. It was a little bit over a half a penny, and then Stellar Lumens came, and it was like, all right, if you're XRP, then you're anti-Stellar Lumens, right? There's like some key differences, and I started just telling my people like, all right, think of it like a stock, right? There's competitive stocks. Buy the Coke and the Pepsi. Forget about the taste. Just know that they're two brands that taste similar. They're similar, and they should do very well in the long term. And you look at XRP now; it's way over a half a cent and penny. When I was talking about it, Stellar Lumens is booming. It still has like they're relevant, and now everything's coexisting in these massive market caps. So everything you're talking about now, years down the road, whether it's this cycle or the next, they're going to grow massively. So I mean, especially with utility tokens, they have their day. They do.
Mhm.
It just sometimes they don't pump like we do in the degen DeFi spaces, of course, but they definitely get the big volume and the eyes on them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bro, definitely. Like today, like Flare is up 6%. You know, like there's certain days, Hedera, you know, people are funding Hedera hard now, but if you look at what they're doing with supply chain logistics and tracking that stuff, that they have it unlocked. Like that's where this world is all going. It's inevitable. And you got to just zoom out with crypto. Like this whole get rich overnight thing, it's got people completely going at crypto backwards, where you say, okay, instead of an overnight find a meme coin, get rich, it's a 10-year retirement plan where you could come in with like $5,000 your first cycle. If you do really well, turn it into maybe 75 or 100K if you're kind of conservative. You don't want to go nuts and lose it all. And then your next cycle, you're working with, you know, maybe $40,000, and you spread that around and you do a 20X. And now you're looking at almost $1 million and over a 6-7 year window. And now your life's completely changed. And when you could zoom out and just get into stuff early, like Titan X, almost all the projects, if you just got in day one and just were patient, you did really well. And that pretty much goes for any crypto that has a use case, a team, a community, whatever. And just getting in early and just holding. And diversifying is so important because when your coins aren't doing anything, you can look and say, all right, well, this stuff's doing real well. I'm gonna just focus my attention there, not even worry about the stuff that's not pumping right now.
Yeah, when you mentioned Hedera too, I think about like how quick crypto evolves, but how slow people transition to adopting it. Because when Hedera first came out, it was like, this is the blockchain killer, right? How Hedera operates versus blockchain, which is originated through Bitcoin. So it's really, when you look at Bitcoin being dinosaur old tech, so is the way the blockchain operates versus Hedera. But I'm like, why isn't anybody adopting it on a large scale like Ethereum? Everybody's still happy with, you know, the layer ones, the layer twos, and operating EVMs and all that. PulseChain, we had high hopes, and it's just like a straight copycat. Like, do you remember when Jack unleashed hell on PulseChain and he broke that shit?
Yep.
That was a wake up call for me, bro. That like shattered my vision of it being a very innovative blockchain. I still believe in it. I still love PulseChain, but then I go, well, it's not far from the tech it originated from. Might have cheaper fees, but it's just crazy. There's a lot of good technology. I love Hedera. I wish it was massively adopted by now. It deserves it. That's for sure.
Bro, Karate Combat is awesome. Like if people don't know what that is right now, like it's been going viral. Joe Rogan's talked about it. The last event was at, I think, Consensus or one of Bitcoin. They're all the conferences, but like Alex Pereira, the UFC champ, was there. His sister was fighting in Karate Combat. Like Logan Paul's buddy that they podcast with is one of the announcers. Like it's so ahead of its time right now, and it's getting more attention. It's picking up, but it is crazy that there's blockchains out here that are so much cheaper and so much more efficient, but we're still using this stuff that is terrible.
Oh yeah, it's horrible. You know, we all depend on Bitcoin because everything's heavily paired to it. But I don't think the mainstream that's now talking about it realizes how shitty Bitcoin is. You're never going to be at a Starbucks buying your coffee with it. You know, you're not going to be doing that. It's too slow, not
No,
efficient.
it really is, bro. It is. The Trump. I watched a video of Trump like in some pizza place in New York City paying for Bitcoin, and it took 3 guys to look at the phone and we're like, did it work? They're looking at each other. The other guy comes over. He's like, I think it's going through. And like 45 seconds later, they're like, yeah, we did it. It's like, bro, I could have just gave you money cash like 7 times in the time that took. It was so funny.
I wonder what token's going to be the one to be used in that sense of, you know, buying your pizzas. Because I used to think back in the day, I was riding hard with Digibyte, and then Digibyte's algorithm and as certain blocks started to hit, it became faster than a Visa transaction as far as the transactions per second, faster than Visa. Now it's like double, triple the speed probably, but it never got adoption. The founder walked away. Shit hit the fan, and I was like, dude, this was the one. So what token do you think could make it mainstream or is even close to be that? You know, let me buy my coffee or pay you rent with this. Do you have any idea, or what are you thinking?
So I think there's gonna be like an app or something. I think Stronghold is that company right now. That's what they're designed for. This company, it's on Stellar, and the Tammy Camp, the one of the founders, was the first woman ever hired at Ripple.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go back and look at where these people came from, like I believe that you could have the best technology in the world, like Hedera, like Digibyte, these projects that if they were adopted at scale right now, it would revolutionize stuff. But that's not the way the world works. It's who you know. And that's where relationships are everything. And that's why I think Ripple and Stellar are going to take over. It's going to start this cycle. I think Trump has got a lot of people, a lot of connections with Ripple too. But Stronghold is designed for those payments, for peer-to-peer payments, where you want to go into the store and you got your phone and you just boop, you scan your phone. And I think you'll be able to like select whatever coin you want to pay from, and it'll automatically just, you know, pay with deducted out of there. Like Velo right now is also on Stellar, and they are basically the Ripple of Asia, I call them. They these guys they own all the 7-Elevens in Asia, in Thailand and like Singapore, wherever, and they have little QR code scanners in every 7-Eleven, and that's how you pay for stuff now. And they're just like, it's all going live like literally this quarter and happening right now. They have their own blockchain coming to, like Velo and Stronghold, I think are going to be 2 names you really hear for payments. And what I think will happen is Stripe or Venmo or one of these companies will just buy these guys out. And that way it's the perfect way to bring them from where they are now to Web3 and crypto. So the winners are going to just get gobbled up by Microsoft and Google and these other companies. I think that's what's going to happen.
Is this the same Stronghold, the same one that's run by David Moss, or I think he's the CEO? Is this the same?
It's
no?
Tammy Camp and what's the guy? Let me just say it's Stronghold. I forget.
Okay.
It might,
because I'm thinking of strongblock.com, which was Stronghold token. So it's a different one, I think.
Yeah, bro. So Stronghold released a stablecoin in 2018, and it was for the public and the private. And something, I don't know what happened after 2 months, but they shut it off for retail use. And the institutions have been using this now for almost 7 years. So they have a whole blockchain, a whole private stablecoin behind the scenes for everybody. And it's all been running. Like IBM is a huge partner with these guys. And I think you're going to see them. I mean, they're tied in with the ACH, with the clearinghouse, and these guys process trillions of dollars a day. And like when you look deep into it and start seeing these massive institutions only talking about or naming Stellar or Ripple directly, or like R3 Corda or Overledger, you start really seeing the ones that are going to be the winners. But these things take so much time to adopt, and it's hard. Where what's the opportunity cost if you're holding a coin like this and it's going to do really well and it's one of the best ones out here, but adoption comes next cycle. Do you want to hold it this entire cycle or put your money elsewhere and buy back? But then with that, it's like if I'm planning on that happening, well, what if something happens and this stuff comes faster than I thought and it takes off and I sold it and forgot to buy back? Like, it's such a catch-22, and that's why for me it's just buy early and just hold and out-hold everyone, and you will win.
Yeah, like when it comes to this, like your pitch here, I like it. About was it SHX, right? Is that the one you're looking at?
Yeah. Yep.
Because I think now it's time to think about realistically what type of currency is going to come out. I was looking at something. I went into the rabbit hole last night when they asked Chairman Powell, if President Trump asked you to step down, would you? He said no. So they started. It was going kind of viral last night in the sense where no one has control of the Fed, like the Federal Reserve. They're a private entity, right? And it's one of those things where the president doesn't have control to fire anybody or anything like that. The only thing we can do is separate ourselves from them, because ultimately, I think Powell said, we're heading down a really bad fiscal path because we're borrowing from our future selves, from next generations to come. And it looks like they're the ones that continue to print money and put us in a hole, and we need to get away from them. But there's no like firing anybody or anything like that. So there's going to be a cryptocurrency that's adopted where we can separate ourselves, from the Federal Reserve and break ties. So I was trying to think last night, and that's why I asked you, like, what would be that currency that they can jump on now where there could be a buyout and this could happen? Or is it going to be, because I don't want to see a Fed coin. They want a Fed coin, Federal Reserve coin, to continue this, this sham and continue doing what they do. Like, Trump might just say, well, F you guys, and then let's come up with their own, because I think we need to break away from the Federal Reserve. I think it's a corrupt system. Everything is pointing in the direction that the dollar is dying. It has been. Inflation will never be under control the way we want it to. We can bring it down, put a Band-Aid, but I'm all about getting rid of the Federal Reserve, and really just saying, fuck you. I don't know how you feel about that, but I think it's time, and it's going to come in the form of a digital currency, I would imagine, in the near future. But someone said in the chat, Congress has power. They have like oversight. So Congress, technically could just write them off, but I don't know if that's something they'll do.
They would. It would. I don't know. I think the only way you do that is somehow the taxpayers are now in control. But if they that's why I feel like why they're abolishing income tax, and that gets rid of that whole putting it in the hands of the taxpayers. So I think it would have to be some kind of like commodity backed with like our labor, commodities, land. I don't know. You'd have to almost pool everything together and tokenize it, but we're years away from that. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like XRP though is the one that the banks are going to adopt, and it's decentralized. The XRP ledger, it's immutable. It's there, and everything is built into the contract itself. So you do all the swapping. It's native. It's on chain. Everything there, and I think that they're setting up for that for the mainstream, and that's going to bring a flood of liquidity into the markets. I think what my personal opinion is Bitcoin never hits 100 grand, and we start to see the holes in Tether stablecoin regulation. I think is going to bring that out. And with Japan, the carry trade is going to reverse again. And I think that with Japan kind of going under, it's going to cause treasuries to be dumped all over, and they're going to either have to back them with stable coins. That's the perfect way to keep that Ponzi going, is through Circle and through Ripple stablecoin. All treasuries printed, just back to stable coins and flood the world with stable coins. I think that's one of the ways they're going to go about this. And then I think with AI, it's going to be very, very deflationary. And when you start to lose a lot of jobs that AI can replace instantly, that's probably 30 to 40% of our workforce. So with somehow, I think with UBI, people don't have to work jobs for someone else. You now can put 4 or 5 hours a day into stuff that you want to do for yourself, into a small business, into a garden, into whatever it is. It frees up time for you, so I think there's a way out of this, but it's going to have to be done correctly.
Yeah, that's the AI is definitely, man, the world's going to change. I took my kids to the drive-through recently and we decided to eat in a car, so I just had to run and get some napkins. Empty. It's just kiosk machines and a few people working the fries. I remember walking. I hadn't been in the McDonald's in years, especially after the pandemic, right? Because we weren't, going out. So, I haven't been in since before then, really. It used to be families, kids packed around playing. Nobody's in there. The kiosk machines, you do the drive-through or you order online, DoorDash. The world's changed. So AI and the way you can utilize artificial intelligence is going to wipe out a lot of jobs. It's going to be, whether you got an education or not, it's coming. And it's going to be interesting too with fiat currencies, because I feel like there's a black swan event going to happen. There's nothing that we can do about it. And market corrections and all that on a massive scale. There's a lot to come down the road that I think that these band-aids are going to rip off. And digital currencies have supply caps and all kinds of stuff. I think it's going to be the safe haven, your store of value, But who knows? Let's just get to 80K, work our way up, see where the market takes us. But
Bro,
I'm not excited until I see Ethereum above 3,700, where Richard Hart spent all our money.
Yeah, dude, I know, bro. I cannot believe the S&P is about to crack 6,000. It might have cracked 6,000. Oh, it did. It hit 6,000. Holy shit. Bro, if this thing, like, I think they're super correlated. Like the black swan is going to be how many insolvent banks are there right now? Like 700 banks are insolvent right now in the United States, probably more. So at any point you could just cause absolute chaos. So they're going to have to do this in a calculated way. And that the way out is on-demand liquidity. And unfortunately, it's the banks tapping right into the Fed. And when you're underwater, all right, instantly we could settle with you with Ripple, R3 Corda, whatever they're going to end up using. That's what they're going to do, because stocks used to settle T+3, which was 3 days later. Now it's T+1, but you could see they're working their way towards instant settlement, but the laws and stuff and some of the amendments on the XRP ledger aren't going to come for another 5 months or so. So I don't know. I think the stock market's going to run up until mid-December, and I think is going to have a nasty dip, to be honest with you. I just don't see how this continues. It's out of control.
I'm shocked that we're still talking about banks after seeing them fail and get that big bailout, many years ago. And because of the subprime loans, just the risky, shady loans they were doing to make a bunch of money on the back end. So they committed fraud. They basically went bankrupt to get a bailout, and they're still here today doing the same shit they're doing under different regulations. We should be in a different environment where I felt like Bitcoin was right there at that moment where the banks were going to collapse and it could have had its shine, digital currency. It's just mind-blowing to me that all this is just not as big as it should at this point. But I think shit's going to hit the fan. Cryptocurrency, it has to become much bigger than it is today, because it's the future, obviously. But do you think ETH will flip Bitcoin? That's the question, because we were talking about that earlier, where when I got in, there was Bitcoin dominance. There was no such thing as Ethereum dominance. So I don't know if that's CoinMarketCap's prediction of like it becoming, bigger than what it is. Because you technically could build a business on via smart contract in some way for, whether it's accounting or whatever you want to do. It'd be more efficient and capable of doing it versus Bitcoin. So that would be more demand, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I too, but bro, but ETH is just too slow. It's not scalable. Like it's proven that when you launch Zen, you clog the network up. They can't handle it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
only certain blockchains could even handle this stuff. And right away, it's like, okay, so Hedera could do it maybe. Like you could do between Stellar, Ripple, Hedera with Quant tying everyone together like that, and then I think Flare is the best Oracle out there. I don't know why everyone's obsessed with Chainlink because, oh, they CCIP and the banks are working with Chain. Okay, that's great. But what about companies that need Chainlink's not a native Oracle. Chainlink relies on third-party data. So I just don't see hedge funds and these governments and stuff that need instant data. They're not going to be relying on Chainlink. Like Flare's that Oracle that comes and is interoperable with every single blockchain and comes natively and brings an Oracle on chain. And that's the secret sauce. And to me, it's like, why is Flare no one talking about it? But Chainlink's worth $14. Like, it just blows my mind how ass backwards this whole market is. And there is going to be that time where the utility does matter. Like, no, why are we paying $70 for an ETH swap if it gets really expensive? Like, the solutions are out there, but it's all, I don't know what the solution is to get people to them. Like, I think everyone's just lazy and I'll just pay the $10. I don't want to go do that. It's always whatever.
Well, I mean, I guess the reasonable thought was people would adopt, like, go on optimism. Gas fees are cheap there, but no one's really building or using it. So there's chains that are trying to, build on top of Ethereum and become their own, have their own use cases, be efficient, cheaper, but no one is. I don't know what's going on. Like, optimism I would say is a good place to start. Like, they have like a whole ecosystem, and I don't know. The whole market confuses me, and where the traffic is driven. The whales are still operating on Ethereum and they're willingly paying the gas fees because that's basically home base for meme tokens and all of DeFi. But since you have it up here, what's your thoughts on the pegging with Pedi? Because I see you looking at the chart here.
Yeah, dude, this is the solution right here. Like, this is the answer to a lot of the problems because stablecoin, like, people think that because Trump said a CBDC is never coming, they don't understand that Circle, USDC, and USDT are CBDCs. The DOJ, the FBI, any law enforcement can shut down the keys or your wallet from transacting. So if you have $200,000 in USDC sitting on a ledger that you think is safe there, you can do whatever you want. If you did something wrong or you went to a wrong site, you could be blacklisted from using that. So that to me is a CBDC. That is telling you you can't use your own money. And Pedi is the solution to all of that. And when people start to realize in the mainstream that USDC and Ripple stablecoin, they are all keeping the Ponzi scheme going because they're all backed with the debt that they keep printing that no one else will buy around the world. So if people wake up to that and say, oh, well, then what the hell's the solution? Oh, wait, Richard Hart over here, who just beat the SEC, who's not a criminal, he just launched the only decentralized stablecoin that actually can't be shut down or anything. Bro, I think this is potentially the biggest thing in crypto that's just sitting here that no one understands.
Yeah, he said it on Crypto Wendy's live stream. I've played it for people before, where basically says first thing that we have is a stable token he's going to work on, and then a wallet. Talking about PulseChain, he said it, and then he talked about making his own nation, United Nation, and whatnot. But that was like the three things he said. First, we're going to work on a decentralized stable token, and then a crypto wallet for PulseChain. He said it, but the problem was when this narrative first came, everybody shot it down. Like, the 90% of the PulseChain community turned into complete cannibals. Nobody educated and showed the blockchain evidence that was there, that there were some things going on before the chain went live that were interacting with changing the contracts when it comes to MakerDAO and Pedi and making it so that it wasn't mintable anymore. Nobody cared to see the facts or face the facts. They just wanted to deny, buy Hex, buy Pulse, buy PulseX, and watch their bags go down. Whereas if you were an early adopter of Pedi, but most importantly PTGC, you're fucking up massive right now on the ratio. You can come back out of like I got in day one on TGC. I got into this July, like right before it went public to everybody as far as Pedi, and your ratio return back, it's massive. Like you're up. Congratulations to you if you did that, and you sacrificed. You're looking at the very least being up from what you invested in terms of how much pulse you should get back. But nobody embraced anything. Now they're coming around because we've been wrecked. They're like, let's get together and fight the SEC. So now we have some unity, but it took far too long, bro. I think they forgot. Richard made a blockchain so builders can build. And
bro, dude, it's wild, dude. It really, it's sad. It's crazy. It's embarrassing. I don't even know. It's kind of what made me step back from PulseChain and start really looking at Titan X and these other projects, because it was like what you just said. The evidence on chain. So MakerDAO, and that happened before PulseChain launched, within a day or two. So you're telling me that some random person got in there, weaseled their way in without Richard knowing it, made all this happen, and Richard was just like, looking at his Louis Vuitton bags or something? Like, guys, come on. Like, the evidence was there. Like, there was already me not being able to do any blockchain forensics at all. Me reading a couple posts of people of actual stuff on the blockchain. Immediately it was like, okay, this is either Richard or he knows who's doing this. There's no way. There's no others. Unless maybe it could be Jack Levitt. Like, that was the only other person I was like, all right, maybe Jack and Richard are doing something, but I don't know. But now it's obvious that it's Richard, and this is the biggest thing, bro. And like with PTGC and Pedi last summer, Chaos Chris, we were all talking about this stuff. I found PTGC randomly on a live stream, like October 14th, and bought into it. And within a week and a half, we were like, wow, TG Zen is an awesome dude. These are smart guys. I met Coach, and this thing really started to take off. But the animosity and the hatred for PTGC and, it's just another Safe Moon 2.0. Just wait. And it's like, what are you talking about? And sure enough, look at the chart. Like, I don't hold any PulseChain right now. I have some PulseX and some Ink, but I swapped all my PulseChain for PTGC and Alien and UFO, because the charts speak for themselves and they pay you back. Like, if you had held PTGC, if you're a Pulse validator right now, and instead of doing all that stuff to validate, you could have just put it into PTGC or UFO or Alien and made way more money, which it's sad to think that.
I have been seeing this stuff for years, bro. I remember having arguments online and in person when I would talk to people. When I first got into Ethereum, it was $7. I was like, I'm putting my whole paycheck. And the argument to people that people had with me about Ethereum ever hitting $1,000 from $7 was like unimaginable what the market cap would have to be. So I've learned over the years that there's like infinite possibilities in crypto. Now, even look at the market caps today, they're still tiny, but people will never believe that the market caps, they're going to always tell you, well, in order for it to go to this price, the market cap would have to be this. Like, that's impossible. Okay, well, see what happens in 5 years. And we start, taking down, flipping all types of different market caps and commodities and stocks and things of that nature. It happens over time, but The PulseChain community now, if they go and look back, the best play they could have possibly did with their Pulse was swap it for PTGC. That was the best play you could have done with your Pulse, based off the ratios. It has surpassed, like, by I don't know how many X's, but if you go look back on the chart, how much PTGC you could have got per Pulse back then, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it was like 50-1, bro, when it launched.
Yeah, so this will be eventually 1 to 5, and Pulse will start going up, and it'll continue to separate the gap. It's going to continue to outperform. It's kind of like Dragon X and Titan X. How Dragon X outperforms Titan X, and the ratio is a big split. So if you invested in Dragon X 1-to-1, you're loving your life right now. That's kind of where the PTGC investment was with Pulse. And that opportunity is long gone. It's not too late, but you're never going to get what you could have back then. And then they have all these tokens here, like Alien, UFO.
Yep.
They went to work,
bro. That's why I'm thinking, like, okay, I'm holding like 100 million PulseChain right now from the sacrifice. Like, I've been holding it. I've been DCAing into it. I'm just catching a falling knife. Like, what am I doing with this? So I was like, okay, Alien here will pay me back rewards in PTGC. Like, are you kidding me? A slow drip of that? I'll take that. And then PTGC, if I stake it now, I can earn more on top of just holding it. With PTGC, you actually earn more just for holding it. More appears in your wallet. People don't know that.
Yeah.
They still don't understand it. And it's like, this is a deflationary coin. Every time transactions come, a little bit gets added to the buy and burn. A little bit. And with Coach, he showed on stream multiple pools that they've created. Once you take PTGC and you pair it up with 80 different PRC20s, the R bots come and they pay the tax. They don't care. So he was showing hundreds and hundreds of dollars of volume from just straight bots on all these pairs. So it was like, you don't need we can all sit back and do nothing, and this will take care of itself. That's the way it's built. And people just still FUD it and scream, you're diluting the chain and you're this and that. It's like, whatever. I'm going to just make my money and go elsewhere. And that's what happened.
It literally doesn't need human volume to continue to do what it's designed to do. It doesn't. And that's the first of its kind. So people are going to be like, what? No, like, they're not going to understand that. And man, I'm loving this conversation. I'm like having my first conversation where we can go from like out this direction and bring it all the way to PulseChain. Like, I can't go when we're done with this conversation. I got to go back to the real world where, we talk about, who won the game and what do I think about the World Series. Like, that's all great, but like, I can never have this level of conversation with anybody in the real world. So I appreciate you.
Yeah, bro.
Awesome.
Awesome. Dude. We'll do it more often for sure. Cause we haven't even gotten into all the Titan X stuff. Like Vyper just went live today. X28 went live today. So I'm seriously considering going aggressively hard into Vyper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's how many hours are we after? It's been
20 more hours, I think.
I'm gonna wake up when there's 19 minutes on the clock, and I'll
19 hours.
Yeah, and I'll make my decision on whether I want to buy off the market or enter. Because I think we talked about this backstage. I'm excited for what it's going to do for like my Dragon X bags, Vault, but I feel like Vault's success was because it was the unknown. If you go to the Vault chart and take a look at that, you'll see that the first, from day 1 to day, I think it was 7, it was just like prices that you can be like, oh, I wish it would have got in. And the early investors were not so much buying, they were doing the auction because there wasn't a lot of liquidity back then. But you see there at the beginning, if you look at the chart, nobody knew what was on the verge of what was going to happen, right?
No.
So you're playing something that you have no idea that it's about to change your life. Honestly, like, people had no clue. Well, they knew if they're in, they believed in it. So now we're playing the second chance opportunity on it's beefed up, it's different, but now people know how to play the game, and now they have expectations, and the expectations would be they can make some quick profits. So I feel like I can hold back and probably get better buys in the auction since people know how to play it the second time around. So that's kind of why I'm like I don't know if I'm going to do the auction or just wait. So at the 19-minute mark, just based off when the auction started to become less profitable for Volt, was when people started to realize how to play it. Before, you can go in and you're getting like mega deals, for your entry. But then it was just like it became a whales game where the whales go in and then you got a small bag and you don't really benefit much. So no one but whales were recycling. But what features do you like about it the most? Because there's a lot. You've got the nexus and all that going on. I think Steve really, like you said, it's Vault on steroids. So there's a lot going on.
Dude, I think it's gonna be very similar to Vault. So I mined Vault day 2. I forgot about it day 1. And it was profitable day 2. So I had just came off of my short-term Hydra miners that got wrecked. So I had done was it Hydra? Yeah, it was Hydra. I did a couple short-term Hydra miners and they didn't do well. And I'm like, all right, I don't know what's going on with Volt here. So I did day 2, I claimed my coins and it was in profit. So I was like, okay, I'm going to just sell the Volt back for my Titan X. So I was like, perfect. I ended up with like 20,000 Volt or something like that. And the next day I was like, that was profitable. I'm going to go a little harder, even though the rate's a little worse. So day 3 came and I went harder on it and maybe got like another 25,000. But I sold back like 130,000 Volt to leave the 25 profit each day. If I had just kept those, bro, and didn't sell those back, like literally hours after I sold and claimed day 4, it just took off. And I'm still happy with what I got, but I'd have almost 4 times the bag if I had not swapped back and just taken my profit. But coming off of the other short-term miners being unprofitable, I was like, all right, I don't know, this was a one-time thing, but no, it wasn't. So my gut tells me that mining day 1 will still be the most profitable because 100,000 Dragon X gets you like 22,000 Viper. So this has to go down like 700% for you to be where you're at market buying right now. So I'm going to definitely just do a mint day 1 as a hedge. And if I can market buy more, great. I think it's just a bonus.
I love the fact that, what is there, 70 billion Dragon X already in there?
Oh, yeah, dude.
That's a lot.
Over 98 people. That's it.
Yeah, so that's why, like, I this morning I was telling you, I was like, I was gonna go in like 15 grand or something like that. I think I forget, it was like 800 million Dragon X, and I was like, I'll hold off. But the last 10 minutes, there's gonna be some whales to go in probably at the same time if I decide to. I wonder where the ROI will hit, and will it matter either way? Like you're saying, it'll be profitable.
No, if you just waited till the 3rd day of Volt, everything just started ripping, bro, because the auctions came in and there was not that many people did it. So not much supply came out and people just kind of held it and it just went crazy.
Yeah. So no, people weren't really active in it. And then it became very profitable because people went crazy into the auctions when it was, hey, this is bitching,
Yep.
So yeah, environment's different. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. I'm more excited seeing those numbers with 70 billion Dragon X, because if you go to the Hydra website, I'm looking at the stats right now, 5.1 trillion Dragon X. So imagine when we get to like 4.5 trillion Dragon X, right? Hyper deflation. And that's just with a system like this that's going to get us there. Eric hasn't even touched the ETH funds yet. He doesn't have to. It's like chilling, like V1 buy and burn with Titan X. And homie's smart. So he knows he'll pull it out of the back pocket when ETH's $4,000 or $5,000. He'll be like, look what I got, guys. Remember this? We're like, oh yeah. And
dude, I think he should keep. I think he should tease it's a way to keep everyone here during the bear market. The E's still here. When's he going to spend it? Tomorrow's tomorrow the day. Is tomorrow the day? So it's like he's got a carrot he could dangle in front of everyone for a while now. Like this is awesome, bro.
and the fact that no one's stressing over it, it's not like we need it now. I thought day 369 was going to come and people might be like, "What's going on?" You know, but no, we're chilling. Everyone sees that we're coming to the mid part of November, late part of November. Titan X is going to be hyper deflationary going into December. Jack shit comes out. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Lotus.
Yeah.
What are you doing with Lotus right now? You still making miners?
I did. No, I made a bunch, bro. I did a bunch of them, but I sold my Lotus for what I put it into more Morpheus, I think, or more Dragon. No, I bought more Dragon X. That's what I did with it. But they're all down the same, so it doesn't really matter. But I think the long-term miners will negate the short-term losses if you just keep them.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too. I'm only making long-term miners, and then the whole Eden transition. I think Rainman put a post about in Telegram about doing audits this weekend, and then I think that they're worried about just making sure it's nothing is going to happen again. I feel bad for him that happened, because could you imagine if everyone gets that payout, how much more money flows into the system? It would have been incredible, dude. And sure enough, like shit hit the fan. I'm like, oh my God. Like I was waiting for that to hit so that, things will pop off across the board, your vault benefits, everything. And then sure enough, you can never.
And that sucks, bro. You can't even blame him.
No, he's not the builder. Technically, he's the face, but
like he made a mistake, maybe hiring the wrong people. But that again, you can blame him, but still, like he paid for that that was missed during the audit. Like you can't hold him accountable for that. Like, so it's just a shitty situation all around the board.
Yeah, I feel bad for him because he's working with. He probably got his confidence because Vault came from the Decentra team, right? So you're looking at Vault, no flaws, nothing. You're like, fuck, this is badass. They're gonna build for us too. And then I guess their auditors missed something, 2 pro auditors. So now they're connecting with Eric's guys. I think he said Dead Rose or something like that. There's a guy named George that the Dragon X YouTube came on my live stream the other day and said they're making sure that they audit everything. So I mean, all the confidence was there to work with them, and shit happens, unfortunately.
Dude,
So
that's why use Bill Brandon's company, Build the Tech. The devs from Morpheus, they just crushed this, bro. Like the only thing was the first day the leaderboard was off, so people were kind of worried for the lot. It was showing liquid holdings here. But that was fixed within 1 day, and like people don't even remember it now. Like that could have been a huge problem, but if you fix it immediately, small things, whatever, people can forget about it. But the big stuff, like it could be a long-term disaster. You just never know. You hope it's not, but yeah, it sucks.
If UI is the only issue you had, I'm a happy camper. I remember seeing that, and I figured out right away, okay, it's not updating, so the UI, something's going on with the UI. And then when you guys fixed it, I go, oh, it was showing the holder count, not the tickets. So, I got me a lot of tickets. So I'm excited for Sunday to see how it plays out. I've been buying a lot off the market too on some of these dips because I woke up early for 2 intentions this morning. Am I going to get into Vyper, which I didn't? And also, I knew a Morpheus dip was coming because we know that people will liquidate to get on the hype train of something that's launching. I know that. And as soon as I saw that $17,000 sell this morning, I came gunning in. I pushed the price back up, and I got a better deal because last night I sold some, right? So that I can get take that same amount of Dragon X to buy and ratio back to get more. So I did get more back on my re-entry, and hey, I hit it on the dot as far as doing that. I was happy with myself. So I pat myself on the back because Morpheus for me is Dragon X, like my Dragon X redemption, right? I was at the time I was upset with the whole staking debacle, angry with Jake and Eric and getting diluted. So I was like, fuck this. I'm not going to get the 1-to-1. Well, fuck, bro. If I could go back and set my emotions aside, I would have swapped all of my Titan X at a ratio of 1-to-1 and be balling out of control. But luckily I got in like August, coming out of July, and I bought a lot of Dragon X, but I'm not going to do that with Morpheus. I need to be like the smart contracts, no emotion, just do what you know. The ratios was good day one, went it heavy, and enjoy the fruits of the labor later after the mint, and things just kind of go into motion across the ecosystem.
Yep. We're almost at 22 billion Titan X now for 10 lucky winners, which is nuts.
Right before the holidays, guys, there's going to be 10 people that are going to be really happy. That's beautiful, dude. Like just imagine what that can do for 10 people. Like Morpheus is going to change lives before it starts to really change lives. So that's really cool for you guys.
I think Vyper too. There isn't the Vyper giveaway.
They got a raffle.
No, was it Vyper or one of the new projects is giving like $80,000 away?
Oh, Lotus.
Yeah, the Lotus Blossom. That's what it is. Yeah.
Isn't that today? Is that today?
I don't, dude. How do you even qualify for? I just heard about. I read about it this morning.
And then you should see at the bottom day.
Oh, it's for stakers.
Yeah, you got to be so in 13 days. It required 150,000 Titan X. That's why I made that article. Mike Dean saved some people $104,000 because people were buying Lotus like 50 cents to $1 to get into that entry, which at the peak would have cost you 150,000. But if you knew to time things based off Mike Dean's premium package and saw that all this inflation dates were happening, you could have timed and bought it at a way cheaper price. Imagine buying $150,000 worth of Lotus to get into that entry where you could have bought it, below 15 cents. So they better win for their sake, or else they really took an L right there.
Bro, dude, oh my God. I didn't even know about that. Holy shit.
Yeah.
So, oh wow, dude. So people were aping in at $1.30. Oh geez.
Yeah, because they're excited for the stake payout. They're excited for the entry on Bloom, which is just a bonus, but they were going into staking, buying all these tops. And I was like, guys, like you gotta realize this is a mining token. We've seen this happen with Titan X. The inflation's crazy at the beginning, then it tapers off. Then, you can buy the dips after the fact. But people just seem to have forgotten. Maybe they're new too. From Vault. I don't know. But I was telling people, and people are like, you're fudding. I'm like, I'm not trying to FUD. I'm actually giving it to you straight so that you have someone telling you who's been there, done that. I bought the Titan X tops when it first came out to get into the staking protocol at first.
Me too.
And I made some money in staking. So I've been there, done that. But now that everyone has seen that take place, now whales know I'm just going to dilute the smaller bags and all that. But that wasn't the case. There was a hiccup in the code, which that sucks. But I think Lotus will probably go a little bit below 3 cents, and maybe I'll pick some up to swap for Eden. I don't know if that's how it works. Can I still swap for Eden when it goes live, or do I have to be receiving Lotus back from the refund and swap it? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, me neither. I just figure by the time that the 180 days come out in April next year, like these things should be well into profit, and you will probably even forgot about half of them. Be like, oh my God, that's right, the Lotus miners are coming too.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I'm on it. I'm making a Lotus miner every day. Like I said, take my emotions out of it. The founder has me blocked on Twitter. He's mad at me, obviously. But I interact with the smart contract with Raymat, and I feel bad for him. Like, shout out to him.
Yeah.
I think he's a good guy. He is giving back his profit though. That's 400 billion Titan X. Right out of Genesis, giving it to the people and putting it into the new staking plan. So he's losing out on a lot of money that could have been his to change his life. So he's probably having a hard time. But I wish that he gets everything goes according to plan, and that he gets to make more when he gains people's trust. And I'll still keep talking about Lotus and help him because I think he deserves to get his at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah, I do too. I think Steve's a real good guy. I talk to him a lot. He's so smart and he's supportive too. So I think the tide of Volt there and Vyper there will really help him out at the end of the day. But bro, this is the Element 280. So I'm streaming with the dude in like an hour and a half. And he's gonna come by and give kind of an update what's going on, because I'm so bullish on Element 280, bro. Like I like the long-term stuff. I like these NFTs where you can buy them now and just collect rewards for as long as you want. There's a full 16% tax right now if you do anything on these. So the rewards are really juicy from people burning them and doing all that stuff. But once it cuts down to 4% after the mint phase in 18 hours, that's going to be kind of the new standard for the rewards you're going to get. But the token, he's burned, I think, 40% of the supply of Element 280 tokens. So, never mind. Almost 47% now.
Shit.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow. So a lot of it is also back in the NFTs too. So, when you burn the NFT, 4% of that's going to be gone. So oh man, this is just set up so cool. And the liquidity that he's setting up with Helios across the board. Like, the dude's really smart, bro. So I'm not fading what he's doing. And I just have a feeling these things are going to be a gold mine in the future on the secondary market. Like, if you're going to want one in 6 months, I think they're going to be insanely expensive.
Yeah, man. So I got 18 hours to make a decision. That's what you're saying?
Mm-hmm. Yep. If you do it, make sure you get an amped one, though, that has the extra rewards. That's the secret sauce. Do not get just the regulars.
I did the interview with the dude who I love, by the way. He's freaking awesome. Good guy. I told him, I was like, I'm going for the legendary day one. Well, what happened was Vault came out, and I was like, I'm going to use all my economic energy there. I kind of was turned off with the idea of going into anything else at the time. So I skipped out, and I was excited for it. I didn't know Vault was going to be something that I was going to get heavily involved with. So now I got 18 hours to crunch my thought together, because now I'm looking at it and going, well, the price is down a lot. Maybe I could support it with some LP or something like that, LP it up, the token, and earn fees through that. But
see, I'm doing the opposite. I bought a bunch of the NFTs. So then what you do is you come and you take your rewards that you earn and you throw them into the pools here, and there's no fees to coming out. You don't pay the slippage coming in and out. So you can compare your rewards up with any token in the ecosystem you want right here. That's what I think is really cool. So once I only have whatever, $500,000. So after this next cycle, once it's actually like $800, I'm going to come add liquidity. Like, I don't like doing it with just a tiny amount, but that's the whole point is you just take your rewards and can then just add them right into the LP with whatever coin you want. And then it's just a different passive income wheel.
Man, time's ticking. I gotta make that move soon. Man, yeah, I'm just at that point where there's so much. And I was looking at your screen there. I saw Alien X. I need to do a video about Alien X. I got people telling me Element 280. Everyone's hyped about everything, man. So it's really hard. Rewards looks crazy, but that's not bad.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I just bought the the bottom ones here. So you got to cut these last two rares out, or these last 2 rares and 2 commons. So I only had 2 rares and 3 commons that got me $400 in rewards the first 2 cycles.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's nuts, dude. So the rewards, but that's because there's the 16% tax right now. So how it worked was, if at the beginning, or no, even right now, you can burn your NFT for a certain amount of money, right? So if I want to, I could come burn my NFT and get here it is right here. So right now it's only worth $852, but early it was like $1,400. So you could take the 16% hit and then sell the tokens, buy another NFT, and still have profit. So thousands of them got burnt over 29 days, which that's the one thing I didn't see coming. And that's why there's so much of the supply that has now been burnt off the market. It's because there was that arbitrage in between. So people are just like, oh, I'll take the $100, burn it, mint another one.
I gotta watch your stream when the dude comes on for some more alpha too. I'm seeing it live right here.
Yeah,
I like the numbers, that's for sure.
And that's the thing. It's just guaranteed passive income, and it's just the NFT. You just hold it if you want, and at any point you can burn it and get the liquid tokens.
Gosh.
So it's cool, bro. I like it, and just I can't believe that, bro. Last time I looked at this, it was 40% burnt, and now we're already at 47 almost. So I think by the end of today, we'll be over almost at half of the supply gone at mint phase being done. So like.
And then it's probably going to have X28 too added too, right? Did you do X28 yet?
I market bought because I got a little bit extra. It was below 1-to-1.
Yeah, I used, when it went live, I swapped the Titanx X 1-to-1, and then this morning I was like, I realized what the play is here, and I was like, I don't know if I have the time to do these bots and all that, so I swapped back a little bit under my 1-to-1. I might have took like a $50 loss, something like that. But I realized, and I'm like, because I just tweeted about Pulsar like maybe a week ago going 100x. I might have to retract that prediction because X28 is Pulsar on steroids, minus the fact they've added every chain other than Pulse. That's the difference. So they are the founder version of Pulsar, meaning the founder of Titan X made it. It's going to burn a lot of tokens, bro, because this arbitrage is literally going to happen every second, every hour of the day, right? And people bots will arbit constantly. So it's going to burn probably more Titan X than we have ever seen any platform burn consistently and not stop. But now I'm like, is there going to be a need for Pulsar? And I love Kool-Aid and all that. I've been excited about it. Talked to him recently, like, can't wait for it to launch. Now I'm like, dude, like X28 just like front ran that whole reason behind the arbitrage, opportunity. So I don't know what to think, man. I don't know if I'll have a use case for Pulsar personally.
I think Pulsar, the use case for Pulsar is that 25% that gets sent over to PulseChain to the treasury over there. So I think that it's kind of he's trying to bridge PulseChain and Titan X in a unique way. So I don't think that it is, and it's a competition to every other chain but PulseChain almost, because that's where his backing is from. A lot of people are over there, and I think when gas starts to pick up, it's going to force smaller people to going to go somewhere else. So X28 opens up a lot of different doors for people to go to when gas gets too expensive on ETH. So I like it, bro. I like it.
Yeah, I once I saw it and I was reading it and I used it, interacted with it on a couple wallets, and then understood like, okay, it's not with PulseChain and may not be with PulseChain. Interact with it. I just still had the same feeling where I was just like, there's always a reason why you do and you don't, and there might be a reason why Jake didn't do. PulseChain might not. it might be out of respect to the Pulsar, you know, since they're handling that in, or it might just be because people are not that open-minded to interact with anything on PulseChain because there's maxis, you know? So why use the energy and try to do that? Because it's going to be a very difficult transition, even for Pulsar, to have people commit to that for that reason. So the ARB is there, though. It's real. I'm just excited to see how much it burns Titanx X. I think it's good. It's going to be crazy, bro. Like, once I realized and woke up to the thought, I was like, holy shit, Jake.
I know, bro. Dude, I know it's awesome, bro. We are in the right place at the right time when people that like just Jake not going to PulseChain just to help, just for Pulsar's sake. Like, those are the little things that make the biggest difference in the world, because that completely demotivates them to keep shilling, keep working. It's like your dreams are crushed. But if you can all work together, it just goes so much further.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait for that to come out. I want to see how they operate, you know, simultaneously together, because everything is based off, you know, users. So what do users want to interact with? How many chains is on X28? I think it's like 5, right? All the main ones.
Yeah, I think it was 5 or 6 to start.
Yeah, Ethereum based, Arbitrum, Polygon, Binance Smart Chain, Optimism, Blast, and Avalanche. And this is all via you can bridge it. Bridges using layer 0. I love layer 0 because they gave me some fat airdrops recently for using them, and thankful for that. But yeah, X28 came out last night. Mo was like, I'm about to go to sleep, and he started doing a live stream about it. You know, Mo, he's first on the scene, bro. He's our live news anchor. If anything goes down, he's on it. I love Mo. Shout out to him.
Yeah, Mo's a great dude. Shout out to the Mo. But awesome, bro. We've been going for over an hour. I know you got kids. You got a lot of stuff going on over there. So appreciate you coming on, bro. We should definitely do it again.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for bringing me on your platform. It was definitely a good conversation for a Friday. Yeah, shout out to everybody. Don't forget to, if you're watching on my channel, follow Vibra Finance. Follow them on Twitter. We follow each other, posting you on there. Shout out to you. And we'll do it again soon here, brother. Appreciate it.
Yeah, dude, for sure. I got all of R2R socials are in the description. So follow them on YouTube and Twitter. And we'll definitely have them back on the channel in the near future.
Yeah, dog. Thank you.
All right, guys. Appreciate you all for 118 of you. We'll catch you on the next one.